This is CG Ruthless Sports. I will be brutally honest. Ain't nothing but being brutally honest. Coming at you with another video.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back Chicago Sports Talk. Michael, what's up, man?
What's good?
How's it going, man?
It's been good. I'm ready for football tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, the Rams and Bills are coming up tomorrow. That's going to be pretty interesting. But, man, dude, it's been a minute, man. But tell the audience where they can find your channel, man.
You can look me up. Just put in Chicago Sports Talk, and I'm pretty sure you're going to see the Michael part at the end of it. Yeah,
without a doubt, man. So, looking forward to this week's matchup. This was supposed to happen last year. You know, Justin Fields versus Trey Lance. It was supposed to happen last year, but Jimmy was in the way, and that's what really ruined that matchup. I thought that was going to be the matchup for sure, but this time it's going to happen. So, looking into the preview of this matchup, I know you guys are like hosting a home game for this matchup, and you feel a little different than last year, right? Why do you feel so different than last year?
Because we don't have Matt Nagy. We can start that off with that. And number two, I've seen how our offense looks in the preseason, not just with Justin Fields by the backups, Trevor Siemian and Nathan Peterman. I've seen how Luke Gissy offenses compare to Matt Nagy, where Matt Nagy just did a lot of curls and a lot of bootleg plays. And meanwhile, with Luke Gissy, it's a lot different now. I mean, I'm seeing a lot of play action plays already. And if you go look this up, Justin Fields improves a lot when it comes to play action plays down the field. I think he was a top 5 quarterback when it came to most accurate passes down the field.
Okay, so you're looking by how the difference is from that OC you're talking about, Getsy. Okay, so so are they really trying to like utilize the proper way of what Justin Fields plays at, or they're just kind of like trying to make him do too much what he's not capable of doing?
They're making Justin Fields do by his strengths. They didn't do that with Nagy.
That's what I was thinking, because last year they didn't use it up to his strength, but I'm thinking this year for the Bears, they're going to at least try to use his strength to his ability, which is something that should be smart, because, you know, when you're building around your quarterback, you want to at least play up to his strength, and that's a good thing.
I believe so. And when it comes to the 49ers, you guys have the good team, but you guys, the missing spot is your quarterback, like it or not. And I think you would agree.
It's a question mark. Everybody's looking at the question mark when you look at it. But when you think about it, that's the only question mark about it, because Trey Lance hasn't played much games. But the interesting part is it's the unknown. Like the one Rams content creator said it best, that Trey Lance is the greatest mystery. So we're going to see how good he does. You know, this is a true test. The first 2 games, this is a perfect opportunity for Trey to do that. But for this to happen, he has to get to the Bears first. And I know, for example, the Bears, despite the change of the culture, I still think they got a decent, solid defense. I mean, with Matt Eberflus, Yeah, he's built a defense around Indianapolis, and under him with the Colts, they're not that bad of a defense. Like, he's got a really good record, so I can see why his track record with the Colts is why you guys hired him. But he was an unknown commodity, and you guys took him. So what caught your attention when you guys hired him?
I was like, why didn't we sign an offensive-minded guy? Then I'm like, hey, you know what? Let me see who's the offensive coordinator, and then I'll judge. But the people forget that Lugisi changed the Colts' defense. They were the worst defense before Matt Eberflus, but Matt Eberflus's first year, I believe it was 2017, they were 11 in takeaway. So that's what people don't bring up. It's because that Matt Eberflus is not a offensive mind coach, and we're at least the thing that Matt Eberflus does is he has his team disciplined every game. They get they don't get that much crucial penalties. And with Matt Nagy, I think we were probably dead last when it came to penalties.
Yeah, the penalties were like a bummer. But when you look at your team's perspective, like into this season, do you okay, let's look at the weakness of your team. So what was still concerning from your Bears that they have to address or they previously addressed? Like, what was that concern factor?
My concern as of right now is the receiving core, because other than Mooney, it's not a bag of chips anymore from what I'm seeing. It's I'm hoping I'm saying this right. Equividius St. Brown is the second wide receiver, according to a depth chart that was posted on a source that I follow on Instagram, Bears Empire. I know him pretty well. He covers the Bears. And outside of Mooney, it's just St. Brown, and I think the three is going to be Velus Jones Jr. I know people want to bring up his age and say that he's 25, and I believe that it doesn't matter if he's 25 as long as he's got that speed and agility. That could be a help for us, and he could be he has potential to be the second wide receiver by the end of the year.
Okay, so looking at your depth chart, is that St. Brown guy the number 2 receiver?
That's according to the official depth chart for week 1.
I thought it was Byron Pringle. It seemed like it, but so it's that guy from the Packers. Wow, that's intriguing. So that's definitely why it's intriguing for this team, because you're giving opportunities to these other guys that didn't get much of an opportunity. Like when you look at your receivers, yeah, Mooney's like gonna be your go-to receiver without a doubt. Like, he's gonna be the guy. Then there's gonna have to be another guy to step in. So he's definitely making a name for himself. Last year, he had over 1,000 yards because he became the guy. But now that when you look at it, the receivers, these are the guys that didn't get much chances. Like, you look at Byron Pringle, he was like a backup in Kansas City. You had that St. Brown guy, I think he was a reserve receiver in Green Bay. Now you guys are giving him a chance. So it's more like, hey, you want to build around, and that's a good thing. But I just don't know how this matchup's going to fare. But like you said, it is concerning because outside of Mooney, it is a question mark. But realistically, do you feel more confident about your offensive line? Because that's another question mark I'm noticing about the Bears.
Yes and no. Yes, because I think our offensive line will have some growing pains, but later on, I think they will become better as the last couple games go around.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, here's a guy that took no kind from me the other day, Moses. But hey, it's all good, man. I guess, it's okay. I think what makes Michael so interesting is he's Seth Rollins. He doesn't give a damn. He's gonna laugh and just go with it, man. That's what you call yourself. You call yourself the Messiah or something?
Messiah, architect.
Yeah, and you just go with it, bro. I don't know. You have a knack to piss off people, including some of our fan base, but it's okay, man. I don't take offense.
I don't really care. I don't care, to be honest.
I know. So that's interesting. Okay, I didn't know about what you said about the depth chart, but you said St. Brown could legitimately be a number 2. That's kind of intriguing because he's tall and his brother plays for the Lions. And it's like, okay. So when you look at the Bears defense, who is that one guy that's actually going to make a leap this year that you feel very confident about? Like, I mean, besides Robert Quinn, we already know he's a good player, but which is that one player that you just think that most other fans are going to know about after the season?
Like a sleeper or a no name?
Yeah, a sleeper, like a no-name sleeper, but that you feel it's going to be really good on defense.
Oh, that's tough. That's tough because Jaquan Brisker.
Ooh, oh yeah, rookie. Okay, we can put the rookie in the list. Yeah, if you feel Brisker is going to be a breakout, hey, I don't mind that because it's a rookie. Nobody knows what to expect.
Yeah, and he's going to be. He's probably going to be a candidate for defensive rookie player of the year, in my opinion. He's going to be a candidate.
I wouldn't doubt it because he's going to start. He's going to get some reps. So yeah, I think he would definitely be there. It depends on what. I mean, he can get some picks from other for sure, but I think I think the one player that most people don't even pay attention to the Bears is I think Jaylen Johnson is the most underrated player on your team. Like,
oh, he's proven himself to me.
Yeah, comes from the local area, and this guy has proven to be one of your best. You guys drafted Kyler Gordon because you wanted to improve your secondary, so that's a good way to look at it. Because last year, I think you had one certain weakness, and that's why you addressed the secondary, if I'm correct.
Yeah, because outside of Jaylen Johnson, it was Kendall Vildor, who was the worst cornerback in the league, and he allowed the highest quarterback rating whenever someone threw the ball and he was covering somebody. Only had like 4 tackles, I believe. And yeah, Duke Shelley. You had Xavier Crawford, I believe it was, and I think Artie Burns. And Thomas Graham Jr. was surprising when he came in against the Vikings. He made a lot of good plays, and he held his own against DK Metcalf when Russell Wilson was there. And I think that we should I understand why they went a different direction and took a CB is because let's just say we did get George Pickens and then the next play you get the defense looks bad. I want a secondary that's able to be a security blanket for Justin Fields.
Oh, okay. So yeah, that's what you need. So when you look exactly what the Bears are going to do, I mean, on paper, you guys don't have as much talent as you guys are, but you guys are looking to improve your team. So it's like when I look at your defense, yeah, you don't have Khalil Mack, you don't have Hicks, but who is that one defensive tackle that's going to have to step in? Is it Eddie Goldman, or do you have somebody in mind that's kind of under the radar?
That's kind of tough too, but if I had to put money on it, if I had to put money on a run stopper, I think it would have to be some guy named Devontae Wyatt. I think his name was who we got from the Vikings, who was on the waiver.
Oh, Armani Watt.
Yeah. And
that's the one. That's the one you guys picked up off waivers from the Vikings. Yeah.
Yeah, we picked a lot of good players, underrated players off of the waivers, including Isra Smith, some guy named Smith from the Vikings. Don't know too much about him other than he torched us week 18, the last season of the game.
So you still guys got Dante Pettis, or you guys cut him?
We still have him, but he's like the 4th or 5th wide receiver. As far as I know, it's Mooney.
For sure.
St. Brown, Velas, and Pringle.
Oh, so Velas is the number 4 receiver. Or Pringle, right? Is it Pringle?
Yeah, Pringle. Because the thing with Pringle is he just came back from injury just like yesterday.
Oh, that explains. So Perigo will definitely be listed as number 4, and then Villas would be like your slot receiver. So it's kind of intriguing because you guys drafted this kid from Tennessee, and he's got that speed. So it's like maybe that's one guy to look out for, but I think it's mostly going to be Mooney. Mooney's going to be that one guy that we probably need to focus more. But like you said, maybe the kid St. Brown might come in as a surprise because, he's getting more of an opportunity to be a starter. So it's like instead of being a backup in Green Bay, you get an opportunity to start in Chicago. You get a chance to play with a new coach here. So it's like you can't hate about it. Even though he played for a division rivalry, it's an opportunity.
And he's familiar with the offensive coordinator. That's why he knows his offense better than any of the wide receivers. And I'm not sure if we brought up this weapon out. I think Cole Kmet is also going to be a huge factor because he has to. He has to improve. Otherwise, this is the last year. If Cole Kmet doesn't improve, then this is his last year.
Oh, for sure. Man, Moses is getting hard on you, man. And I mean, I don't know, dude. I don't even know if you. So, did you ever play football before, or are you just like one of those football stats guys?
I'm one of those football guys. Stats. I study film. I just study film on fields. Yes, I think like 2 days ago I studied Justin Fields film, but I guess Moses. I don't really have a problem with you because I don't know you like that. But hey, anyways, I just like you said, I'm Seth Rollins. I'll just laugh it off and let him write whatever. At the end of the day, if you don't like my opinion, then I don't really care. I'm not here to pretty much babysit and be like a yes man to people.
I mean, dude, it's an opinion of what you feel. But for me, man, I played football for 20 years, man. I played about different sides of the positions. I played the D line. I played the O line, everywhere, bro. The last time I played a single down of football was 2019. If not for the injury where I had suffered, like where I had to get multiple surgeries on that ankle, bro, I probably would have played another year. But I think I just lost a step, and I just had to call it quits because of the injuries. And I was at my prime, but I was just not at that same position. Yeah, for sure. But I've played this game, and I played with sacrifice. I played with injuries. I played with pain, bro. Most people would have just sat down and not even play. That's just how I came from. I came from a tough era, like in the early 2000s when we played, and then later on during the late of my career, I seen the physicality, and I would always take shots at everybody. The way I played the game was I didn't care what they felt about me. I wanted to piss them off. I wanted to cause a penalty with them. I wanted to get under their head mentally. I wanted to play under their head. I wanted to play under their head a little bit. And even if I got a little chippy, a little dirty, that was my advantage because that's what really pissed them off. But since you're more of a stats guy, which I understand, hey, that's cool because you see a lot of guys who know their football and they know what they're talking about when it comes to the stats and what you look at. But when you look at when you look at the Bears' trajectory, you said that you don't see them winning more than 10 games, right? Like less, right? You were saying, like, what was your prediction of your Bears team?
9 wins. I changed my mind after. I know everyone's going to say, well, you said 11. I changed my mind. But that's a discussion you have to have with Kofi. Because he thinks we're winning 10 games. I think we're winning 9 games. But at the end of the day, I know just everyone's gonna get heated. Oh, this dude is a homer. But hey, man, I keep it real. I know I look at it at a perspective at the Niners. Yeah, you guys have the better team, but your missing spot is the quarterback, and Trey Lance hasn't done anything yet at a NFL pro level that Justin Fields has already done.
Okay, so let's put a better explanation of why this is what it is. Okay, last year, why even play Trey? Like Jimmy had every bit to play for, and we thought this would be a value just to build up his trade value, but it just didn't happen. But you always want to learn from a veteran. You don't have to throw in the rookie in the fire. But the difference with Justin Fields was It was a terrible situation. Of course, you're going to see the rookie quarterback play, bro. He got, 12 starts, right? 12 or how many starts did he play last year?
He started
Okay.
games.
All right. So the difference from Trey to Justin was, dude, Andy Dalton wasn't crap, bro. At some point, you guys had to bench him to play Justin Fields, and that's understandable because when you are a rebuilding team, you're going to let your young quarterback take over, and that's a good sign. It's not a bad thing if you're just going to put Justin Fields out there. So you want him to have more starts. That's the thing. Trey Lance, on the other hand, when you're on a good team, you don't have to expect this guy to be thrown out there. When you got a veteran like Garoppolo, it's a beneficial, but he did play 2 games. And I get it. It's still a question mark because he hasn't played much games in the NFL. Justin Fields played 10 games, so I get where you're coming from, but it's a lot different when you're put on a great situation. You know, I think Justin Fields, I don't know if this is true, but he wants to make the 49ers regret the decision of not drafting him, if I'm correct, right?
Justin Fields had an interview earlier today saying that he was glad that the 49ers passed on him.
Well, I don't really feel like we're missing out on him. I don't know. Because, you know, Justin Fields had a different skill set. It's just we wanted somebody more of a different caliber. Like, I know we could have went safer with Mac Jones, but Mac Jones was just another Garoppolo. It just, why would you want to go with another quarterback that you just stop the running game? He ain't going to do squat. Like, if you ask the Buffalo Bills in that playoff game, what did Mac Jones do? He didn't do squat. So that's why I feel we didn't need him. But Justin Fields, it's more like, man, I don't know. It's like he's raw. He's athletic. I get where everybody likes about Justin Fields. But people are looking at Trey Lance as the unknown commodity that's got the huge upside. And we wanted to gamble it. So we wanted to take that chance with Trey. We felt like Trey has everything to gain from this. And I know it's still an unquestionable mark, yeah. But, hey, here's somebody you know. Here is somebody you know pretty well. And John Jay said it.
I know him. Hey, John,
yeah, I know.
John Jay, I don't speak on behalf of other people. So if that's a question you're gonna have to ask Ghost of Judah Tribe. I just watch his content.
I don't know. I don't know. As far as him, I can't really take that dude seriously. Like when it comes to like debating with him or trash talking, bro, he does not come up with nothing better than using homophobic shit. So it's like that's not trash talking. That's weak trash talk. I mean, but looking at it this way. So the Bears, there's no pressure with the Chicago Bears on week 1 because this is our pressure. I'll be real. We have to win this game. You guys don't have to because this is a young team. Don't you? You agree or disagree? The Niners have to win this game more than the Bears.
More like Trey Lance has to be good. And I know everyone's going to say, "Oh, Trey doesn't need to be that good." At the end of the day, when you trade, was it 3 first-round picks to get Trey to move up to the 3rd pick on the draft? I believe it was. When you trade multiple first-round picks to trade up, it's especially the number 3 pick, you're expected to hit off right off the bat. And if Trey Lance doesn't do well, then it's going to look bad on the 49ers end because the question is the media is a huge factor because they're going to make memes about how they traded 3 first-round picks to trade up to get a quarterback that's not producing very well. And I know some of the people in the chat might disagree with me, but it's true. It's damn true.
Okay. Like you feel this pressure is for Trey to step up to prove that he's the right pick. So in your way, you think that's what it is. But I feel like in this situation, it is a must win for the Niners because you guys have no pressure. Like you guys are like a team that everybody's sleeping on and you don't know if it's legit. Like for Matt Eberflus, I think for him being a first-year head coach, I think he's looking to spoil that team's season debut. So he's trying to make a name for this team.
And I know I know this is probably not really, but the Colts did play the 49ers last year, and I believe Matt Eberflus had a great plan against the 49ers offense last year. And I know everyone's going to say, oh, it was raining or it was like pouring down rain. Listen, at the end of the day, this is football. NFL players, I'm pretty sure all the NFL players have played in the rain before, so they know what it's like.
Yeah, and this game's going to be like, it's 60% chance of rain, right? Because if I'm looking correctly, like in Chicago, it says that there's a good chance it can rain, right?
Yeah, it could rain, so expect a lot of running the ball from we're expecting the 49ers to run the ball a lot because you don't really throw that much in the rain. That's what cost us against the Cardinals, is because we were throwing much in the rain, and I believe until it stopped raining in like the third quarter, it had being in the rain has a huge factor in the game of football.
Yeah, so we'll see how it goes, but I do expect a running game to be a factor, and I expect maybe there's going to be a little passing game here and there, but if it's going to rain, I definitely do expect a running game to actually help determine the team's outcomes. I mean, if it rains, like you said, man, I don't know. This is a feeling of great football, because when it's raining and it has that unconditioned weather, that's where you have to earn it, man. That's what I loved about it. Last time
you played football before, what is it like playing in the rain?
Oh, dude, it is fun, bro. When it's wet, it can give us the advantage at times. It depends on how we keep our balance. But when we play in the rain, bro, it feels great, man. Like, I feel like I have a little advantage when it comes to them, because sometimes with the rain, it gives you that ability to, like, when somebody is on their skates a little, you could actually like push them a lot quicker than expected because of their balance. Because when it's wet, it's slippery. And if you maintain it, dude, it's fun. When you play raining, dude, it feels a lot fun than a summer game, because when you play in the heat, it is no joke. I played in games where it was like 115 degrees in heat weather, bro. And I had to get a lot of water and a lot of hydration, or else I would have passed out. But when you play in cold weather, it feels okay. But I like the rain a little bit better because it's more fun. Like, you have that. It just feels, I don't know, something about playing the rain, it just feels fun to me.
So if it is going to indeed rain, the Bears defense need to take the rain to their advantage. And what do I mean? The ball gets slippery, and sometimes when he might fumble the ball, if it's down on the ground, you fall on it like Captain America did in the first Avengers, like when he dived on the field.
Oh yeah, ball security is going to be a problem, because in the rain, it's hard to grip it. You got to make sure you hold on pretty good, because that's what makes it so interesting about when you play in the rain. It's like, it doesn't matter how you hold on to the ball. If it slips, it slips because of the slippery. It's like, the thing about, like, when you like you said, it's kind of like how you play in this type of environment. It is kind of like I think out of all the football weathers, I think raining football is just fun. Like, you feel more competitive. It can be an ugly game. It can be like one of those low score games, and it's well earned. You know, when you play a defensive battle, it can be like a running game that determines the outcome, or maybe when the quarterback gets the rhythm and maybe he gets on momentum for that. But when you play like raining football, you just feel the excitement.
Yeah, from a defensive standpoint, you're gonna have to take advantage of, because the Bears are used to playing in rain all the time.
Oh, yeah. Raining and snowing in Chicago, that's what they've always been known to play. Oh, okay. So what was the coldest weather you played for? Oh, so what was the coldest game I've ever played? It was during December, and it was a while back, man. Like, if I remember correctly, it was in high school where I played against, I believe it was Sanger High School, and it was like in the 30 degrees or something like that, super cold during like the winter. So it was like, I had no sleeves on. I was going with none of that stuff, dude. I was just playing with bare hands and all that stuff, but I was feeling super cold that day. And it was like, what is it like? It was like hailing, like hailing, like little ice rain here. You know how they have those little ice rains and it's hailing? It was like in the 30 degrees, but it felt like it was raining a little bit. But it just had that ice thing. You know what I'm talking about? The hail?
Mm-hmm.
That was the coldest game I've ever played. I never played in the snow, so I wouldn't know what it's like to play in the snow, but I played in something that was called the hail,
In the snow, the run game, players tend to go slow because of how it depends how many inches of snow you get. If it's like a winter wonderland, then you're not really going to get much huge games out of anybody. It depends how many inches of snow you get. But if it's like 0 inches, maybe like 1 inch, then it's a different story.
Yeah, it is. But I played this game and it's come with sacrifice and came with a lot of injuries. So a lot of this right here, it's fingers all crooked out. But played a lot of head injuries, played a lot of bad knees, terrible ankle injuries. I mean, for everybody, football is just a risk factor, man. You play this game, you play with your body on the line, and sometimes it's worth the risk and sometimes it's not. It's like some people can take it, but dude, I had to play through pain at times because there was a guy taking my job, and if I didn't play that day, I was replaced, bro. So I had to always not make excuses for the coach. I always had to show up and play every damn game because I didn't want the next guy to take my job. That's what it was.
No, that's cool, John Jay. That's cool. But John Jay, I want to speak on Bosa. The Bears' offensive line needs to do a lot of design run. Like they're gonna have to put anybody on Bosa, and I'm pretty sure they're gonna bring this up at practice a lot, and they're gonna have to do a lot of design runs when it comes to containing Bosa.
Yeah, Bosa's going to be your tough task. The only question I don't get is, like, you guys drafted this tackle in the 5th round. What's so good about this tackle that you guys drafted?
Oh, good question. I wasn't expecting him to make the starting roster. I thought he was going to be a depth piece, but I think he's been doing good against Robert Quinn. I know that's not really a accomplishment because he's I don't know how old Robert Quinn is. I think he's like 32, but
he's about my age.
He is holding his own against Robert Quinn every day. He's going up against a great pass rusher, so that's why they're looking to start him on the left tackle. And with Tevin Jenkins, he's going to be the right guard, and I don't know who I think he's going to be getting Armstead, Eric Armstead, I believe his name is, and or he's going to go over Javon Kinlaw. I'm saying it right.
Oh, so wait, so Jenkins is a tackle, right?
Yeah, he's the right guard.
Oh, he's the right guard? I thought he was a tackle.
Yeah, they changed his position because they thought that it would help him, and it did help him because he didn't allow much pressure when he was at the right guard position.
Oh, okay. Because last year he was playing tackle, so I guess making the switch to play guard can be a simple transition for some. Because like playing the tackle spot is a lot harder than what people don't know. It takes a lot of athleticism to block an outside rusher, but when you move to the inside, you have a chance to go against an inside rusher like a D tackle. It gives you a chance to block. But what makes it so intriguing, because I played guard, you have the ability to really block those guys. If you play center, you just snap the ball, you just go forward. But playing guard is a lot easier than playing tackle, actually. Tackle is a lot difficult because I played that spot And I knew how it felt to play that spot, because when you play that spot, you got to be on your toes with those speed rushers. But when you play the guard, you're just straightforward. You just have to get the D tackle and put him right where he's at. But that's the only difference. So for Tevin Jenkins, I think it's a simple transition to play guard, because guard's more comfortable than actually playing tackle, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, and then you got Cody Whitehair being the left guard, and then you got Lucas Patrick, who we signed from the Packers. He returned to practice, and that should be a huge upgrade over Sam Mustipher. As far as the right guard, it should be Larry Bourne.
Okay. So a lot of your starters are going to be a little different. So your tackle is Lucas Patrick, right?
The Lucas Patrick is the center.
He's the center. Okay. Well, who was the other tackle?
Larry Bourne.
Oh, so Larry Bourne's the guy that's playing tackle? Okay, so all right, so from when I look at your matchup, okay, if I'm giving you the lineups for the Niners, okay, so your Bears offensive lineman, which you got, Bosa, of course, is going to play the outside. Armstead's the inside. Kinlaw's the inside. And then you got Samson Ebicom, who's pretty much on the other outside. And then it seems kind of like intriguing matchup, so we'll see how that plays out. But then you look at our linebackers. You got Fred Warner. You got Drake Greenlaw, Al Shire. That's a solid combination there. That's a really good group of linebackers. You look at your guys' team, like your quarterback, Justin Fields and David Montgomery, Darnell Mooney, and then you said St. Brown will be your number 2, and then you said Dallas Jones will be number 3.
Yeah, I have high hopes for Velas. Everyone's sleeping on him because he's 25, and then when I'm hoping he scores a touchdown in his debut, because I'm going to say this to my boy Jaganoff, and I'm hoping he's watching this. I'm going to say, but he's only 25, and then I'm going to send him the touchdown. But he'll be at the Washington and Jaguars game. So.
Ooh, okay. So Jaganoff doesn't like any players from Tennessee, but hey, there's a Tennessee player that y'all need to watch out for, man. I'm telling you, man. I think most of your Bears are going to focus on trying to stop Debo and Ayuk. So the one player you guys have, what?
I mean, who wouldn't want to focus on Debo and Ayuk, because those are your best deep ballers, even though I don't think your guys are going to throw the ball that much. I think that's going to be us.
Well, I think it, like you said, if it's raining, it could be a running game.
Yeah. If it's raining, then don't expect Debo or Ayuk to be a huge factor on that day.
It could be one or the other, like you said. But let's say you guys are mostly focusing on Ayuk and Debo. This is the guy that you might need to understand, man. That game. Jennings is not no joke. Jennings actually is an up-and-coming receiver. He's been our best red zone target last year. Second half of the season, this guy was breaking out as a number 3 receiver, and this guy had one of the best games. If not for him, we would have not gotten to the playoffs, because that Rams game where he made those 2 key touchdown plays and those clutch plays, dude, Jennings pretty much put us in that position to win. So it's like, you may not know who Jennings is, but the guy comes from Tennessee, man. That guy comes from Tennessee. Just like Velas Jones comes from. They come from the same college, but he may not be fast, but he will knock the brakes out of y'all, like your DBs. Like he did it to Trayvon Diggs. I don't know if you saw that playoff.
That's not really an accomplishment on Trayvon Diggs, because Trayvon Diggs is overrated, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. When you look at Trayvon Diggs' coverage, bro, he may get the interceptions, but when he doesn't when he gets in coverage, he gives up the most yards. That's what I don't understand.
In crucial moments, that's where, I'm going to bring this up. In the Patriots, when they played the Cowboys, Trayvon Diggs had a pick 6, and the next play, guess what happened? Touchdown. Guess who got something for it? Tavon Diggs.
Man, that's crazy. But speaking of our offensive linemen, I do feel like it's a question mark for us for sure, because you got three of the interior linemen that's very unproven. But I know this is a question mark, and I'm hoping that the center position is resolved. they like Jake Brendo, even though he doesn't got a lot of experience, but he seems like the guy that everybody trusts. And then we got the guy we drafted last year in the second round, Aaron Banks. So we let Lincoln Tomlinson go because we really felt confident about Aaron Banks' development. So we said, hey, we're going to let this guy start. And then we draft this one kid that I happened to interview like months before the draft. And he ends up being the starter at right guard. Spencer Burford, like, who would have thought this guy that I interviewed a month ago before the draft, he becomes the starter at right guard? There's a lot of these question marks. The question with Jake Brendo is it's nothing to do with him. It's because he's a journeyman. He's been played around different teams, and he's only had 2 career starts. But when you look at Aaron Banks, he didn't even get a chance to start, and we highly drafted this kid. So that's a question mark with us. And yes, Burford is like that one player. We didn't expect much from Burford. When we drafted him, we might have expected him to develop, but he kind of outperformed expectation. So he kept that starting job right off the bat, and he never looked back since. And then when I watch Burford play, he's kind of like manhandles some defenders to the ground, which I really like about him. And that's the interesting part is when I watch Burford's clips and watch what he said, like he does, I'm amazed that we're actually putting him at guard. Because he fits perfectly. He can dominate somebody right there. And he plays with purpose. Oh, we got our guy right here, TRL, man. Yeah, your favorite dude.
Yeah, what's up, TRL?
Oh, definitely.
I know his prediction, so I mean
we ain't gonna get all into this little trash talk debate. We're just gonna go by a little, but probably like in the next couple of questions, we'll probably get into the predictions soon.
Yeah, don't worry, you're my dude, so I'm not gonna waste money on a firing range that he probably wouldn't do.
I don't know, man. But okay, so I know this may sound kind of like crazy, but why do you feel so confident about the Bears beating the Niners, man? Like, it's got to be like, it takes a lot to say, hey, we got a chance against this team. This team is coming off a loss in the NFC Championship against the Rams. I definitely believe we got a chance. It's like, I don't know what's the tune. Like, what's with the Bears? Like, it seemed like for a minute you guys didn't seem sure, but now you got a lot of them coming off the Kool-Aid.
So I have 3 reasons.
Okay, we'll listen to your 3 reasons.
1, it's Trey Lance's first game as the starting quarterback, number 1. He's not backing up Jimmy Garoppolo anymore. So that I want the defense is going to have to use Trey Lance's inexperience to their advantage. 2, it's going to be raining. It's tough to play in the rain. I don't know what weather he played at North Dakota State. I have to go back and check, but if he hasn't played too much raining games, then it's going to be a tough game for him. I mean, it's a tough game for everybody, especially for anyone that wants to play in the rain. And 3, I think Luke Gesicki is going to have a plan for the offense so that Nick Bosa doesn't get to the quarterback. And if, let's just say Nick Bosa is getting to Justin Fields is going to throw the ball away. He has matured. He has improved of throwing the ball away and not always looking for the big play. Last year, most of his sacks was because he was holding on the ball for too long. And right now, he knows that if a pass rusher is coming towards him, he's got to throw that ball away. Or at worst, you take a check down and you get a few yardage.
Okay, so you feel that way, that there's a chance there. But to make this a fair argument, the Niners have played in the rain many times. They played in raining in Levi's Candlestick Park. We played on the road in the rain. Actually, we won an ugly game on our raining day against the Washington before they were called the Commanders. Like, we beat them in an ugly rainy day, and it was so slippery. The ball was it was the worst condition, but we won by 9 points with a shutout. So I think when you look at it, okay, Trey Lance has played in cold weather. He's from the state of Minnesota, but he played at North Dakota State. And North Dakota, it is pretty cold out there. It's not like it's pretty icy out there from what I'm told, because it's right in between Minnesota and I think the state of Wisconsin.
Yeah, but it's still kind of tough to play in the rain, especially.
Oh yeah, it is. Ball security could be the factor, because when you play in the rain, it depends on your balance and the way you hold on to that ball, or you might slip and fall. It's a different ball game. It's anybody's ball game, because there's none of that ball security stuff, because it's going to slip no matter how you look at it.
And upsets can happen anytime, at any given day. The Steelers did it with Buffalo. Actually, if you go look, I actually picked Buffalo to win the game week 1, and they won. I believe it was 13-10, I believe. And upsets happen all the time in the NFL. I'm not saying that's gonna happen week 1, but there's a strong chance that the Bears can upset the 49ers because of Trey Lance's its first game. And then at the end, everyone's going to make the excuses that it was Trey Lance's third game. It's his first game as the quarterback one. He doesn't know the offense just yet, but he will. That's how I view it mostly.
Okay. All right.
I'm going to be honest. If you guys are starting Jimmy Garoppolo, this would be a whole different story. But you guys are not starting Jimmy Garoppolo. You're starting Trey Lance. You're putting Garoppolo to the side and giving Trey Lance a chance, which I will agree. When you trade three future first-round picks, you have to let the kid start. And looking at it from, if the Bears were to play the 49ers like week 8, depending how Trey Lance were to play, this would probably be a different story. But since he's still technically a rookie in my books, I don't care what anybody says, he's still a rookie in my book. And Jaylen Johnson brought up a good point in an interview, I think 2 days ago, when someone brought up the Trey Lance argument. Jaylen Johnson said, Trey Lance has a good throw, and he can hurt us on the run, but he still has to prove himself to me. Those are Jaylen Johnson's words, not mine. Jaylen Johnson said that Trey Lance still has to prove himself to him.
Well, okay, just to be fair about it, okay, in this argument, you might have a point about Trey Lance's experience. Yeah, he's only played 2 games last year. I get that part, but he knows the offense, dude. He's been learning this offense right off the bat. Like when we first drafted this kid, he was already studying the playbook. He was already getting ahead of the curve. But the problem of last year was, I don't know if this was true, but it seemed like he was actually leaning towards beating Jimmy for the starting job until he got injured. Until he injured his finger or something. And then I don't know if it was true or false, but the team wanted to stick with Jimmy at quarterback, which I didn't understand that part of the situation. It didn't seem to make sense. But now that they're already leaning towards just letting Trey be the starter and nothing else, I like this direction. But the difference with Trey, people are still not sure about him, and I get it. People are still talking about how he practices. I feel like any quarterback has practiced like this before. Like, no other quarterback's going to look great unless it's a really terrible defense. But when you're practicing against a great defense, you're going to have your ups and downs, of course. But when you look at the Bears, has Justin Fields had struggle against that defense in your guys' practice or no?
No, he's had a couple good throws. And I know everyone's going to say it was a bad defense, but Justin Fields is one of the most accurate quarterbacks in the NFL.
But but I'm asking, has your defense actually made him look bad?
No, not at all. Not that I'm aware of.
You know what? See, this is the difference. Your defense is still young, and I don't think they're really giving – I guess Justin Fields is looking good as he is in practice, but if you were to put Justin Fields against our defense in practice, I don't know. It'd probably be a lot different. You might see 4 picks in practice. I don't know.
Actually, I saw the stat yesterday, I believe. The 49ers have allowed 2 NFL players to have over 100 yards: Jonathan Taylor and Justin Fields. I have no words.
Well. To be fair, Taylor's one of the best backs, and to be fair, Justin Fields, he's a mobile quarterback too. So it's kind of like I'll be real with you. Our defense has a hard time slowing down mobile quarterbacks. So I'll give you that. Justin Fields was effective because he used his legs well. So but okay, so let's get to the final conclusion. You give me your score prediction and you tell me why this is going to be the game.
I already know everyone's, but it depends. If it rains, I expect a low-scoring game of 20 to 14, 20 to 2014. But if it's not raining, then I expect a difference. The same stat line I've been telling everyone on Rumble, and John G knows about it. Weather plays a huge factor in games. I don't care.
Okay, so give me your score prediction of why you pick the score, and then we'll see how it goes.
Mm-hmm. So let's just say it does rain, low scoring game, because I have a feeling it's going to come down to who's going to make the play when it matters. And I think the Bears are going to start off hot, and the 49ers might fight back a little bit, but I have a feeling that the Fields that the Bears will ultimately come on top, because it depends how much it rains, because I think it will come down to the last play, hands down.
Okay, so what do you pick on this score?
If it wasn't raining, I would say 31 to 29.
So you see it as a very close game. Okay, so you see this as a close game with an upset. Okay. Well, I don't know. This may sound a little on my prediction. I'll give you my 3 reasons why we're going to win this game against y'all. Like, the Niners are great on the road. Like, for whatever reason, we don't even play well at Levi's. Like, if you've noticed our road games, bro, we've either played a lot better on the road. So it doesn't matter if it's Trey at quarterback or Jimmy. Like, this team is great on the road. So that's another reason why I feel confident about this game. Let's see. So, number 2, I feel like this defense is a lot healthy. Our secondary is going to match up pretty well on your receiving core. And I think Justin Fields is going to be tested with our cornerbacks, like covering or making some plays here. Like, we got Travarius Ward from the Chiefs, who's actually like an up-and-coming shutdown cornerback that everybody's not even talking about. And then here's the key reason I believe that we'll beat the Bears. I feel like we have a great running game. I feel like we can eventually just finish out games and make it easy for Trey. But my score prediction, like you said, if it rains, I can see it as a low-score, ugly game. But if it comes down to like a normal weather day, like it's just nice and sunny, I could see it more of the 49ers' favor where we pull it on a dominant fashion. But it may sound cocky, but I feel like you guys are still a year away from being competitive. Like, I feel like you guys could be competitive, but it takes a while. And I know what it feels like to be in your shoes, because in 2005, we had a defensive coach that came from Baltimore, and we got this quarterback we drafted as a number 1 pick. We threw that kid in the fire, and he failed. And it took him 8 years or 6 or 8 years to get it right. And we had so many coaching changes, and we had to suffer those 8 years of losing. So I know the feeling, bro. It is frustrating, but I get it. But maybe there's hope for the Bears, because it changes every year with the NFC, because you're going to see a couple of teams who miss the playoffs.
Mm-hmm. Maybe we make a wild card spot. Maybe we don't. But I mean, the only reason why we're kind of, people are saying we're going to make the wild card spot, because there's not many competition in the NFC currently.
Yeah, it should be. But so, all right, man. So let's leave a couple more questions for you guys and see what Michael could answer on, man. You guys drop me a couple questions, and then we're going to end it on the high note, man.
Ward had a 70
quarterback rating, because
but John Jay, that was allow because of Kendall Vildor, and most of our cornerbacks were a bunch of no-names that you probably never heard of.
Do they even still got a job in the NFL, or they're not even on the team no more?
Kendall Vildor's still on the team, but he's like the 4th, 5th CB. And I believe Xavier Crawford's over in Jacksonville. And Travis Gibson's with you guys. And
Deshaun Gibson. Yeah, we have him on the practice squad.
Deshaun Gibson. And Duke Shelley just signed with the Vikings yesterday.
Okay. Guess there's not a couple questions left in there. I thought they were going to give me some questions. Hey, John Jay, I know you got some questions. Brian Cole.
I know what he's going to say. What is your reaction to Kyle Juszczyk?
Okay. Let me see what he says. I wish Gavin was here so he can ask you that captain question. Hey, aren't you supposed to have that?
Oh, wait, I just got a important 49ers injury update. George Kittle is dealing with a groin injury ahead of the season opener.
I think they've monitoring that, so he should be good.
Adam Schefter just tweeted saying that he suffered a groin injury in Monday's practice, and Kittle's not practicing today. It's unclear right now if it's going to keep him out of the week.
I think it's pretty much like, he probably had a little strain and he's probably going to be good for this game. I think they're just going to play cautiously. Yeah, he will play. It's day to day, dude. If it was a serious injury, they would have just had him ruled out for that game. But I think it's uncertain because that's how they put it. So it's day to day. He will play. But hey, John Jay, if you got any questions, dude, John Jay, I know you want to ask questions about Butters' team, man. Come on, drop the questions, shoot the questions. Come on, shoot the questions, and then we can end it on here, man.
That's something to keep an eye on. George Kittle's injury.
Yeah, you can monitor that, but I think he'll be fine. Like I've seen Kittle play through some injuries where it's like nothing to him. This guy was playing multiple injuries, like in 2018, where he led the lead or tight ends in receiving yards, and he was playing with so many injuries. Let's see. Well, doesn't seem like there's no questions here unless somebody like John Jay. I guess John Jay will I don't know. Maybe you should go on John Jay's show. Maybe he'll give you some questions. I like to see you and John Jay debate.
He's been saying he's going to do a call-in show, but
Ooh, okay. Now we're talking John Jay. All right. Okay, here's a question for you. Spencer Burford versus Bears D-line. How you taking?
It depends who is going on that Burford person. I might have to look up his stats, but I can't really. But if I had to put money on it, it will probably be the Bears defensive line because people, Robert Quinn proved himself, but Travis Gibson is going to show why he could be a decent, an average pass rusher in this league because even without Khalil Mack, people still bring up he had over 7 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, and I think he had like 4 tackles for loss.
Ooh, okay. I mean, to you, from you being a Bears fan, you don't know who Burford is, so you pretty much look at him as an unknown commodity, which I understand. But if I show you some clips of what he does, bro, he makes big men just look like nobodies, like rag dolls. But I would show you some of those plays because I've seen some. I showed some preseason clips of Burford and how he dominates the defensive line, bro. I've never seen a guy of that caliber that we got in the 4th round. Everybody was sleeping on, and nobody even talked about him until I brought it up. And now that you see a lot of the Niners content creator, they're giving me some credit for interviewing him and actually giving him some recognition that he deserves. Oh, yeah. I want to see you guys go on the call-in show or something. Or just put John Jay, just put him on a post game or something, man. I want to see you guys debate, man. Come on. I want to see John Jay and you guys do it, man.
Well,
but all right.
According to John Jay, he talks 49ers Rio. He's no clickbait, not like Grant Cohen. Cough, cough.
Oh, Speaking of somebody, I know this question was coming in your head until I forgot about it. But let me see what let me just show you the clip and see if this was something that you were thinking that okay, I know for a guy being a non Niners fan, this part isn't such a concerning factor to you, but there's been a lot of buzz going on from a content creator that everybody seems pissed off about now. Now that you look at it, you see I don't know. Like, there's this content creator that's been there forever, and everybody's getting pissed at this guy a lot now because he's already like bashing on Trey, or I don't know if it's true or false, but let's show the clip and show you why. And then you let me know if this is an issue that you might think as an outside.
All right.
He doesn't like them to move outside the pocket. He doesn't like them to.
Yeah, he does. He used to. But you know what? I see a lot of RPO coming. Every team in the league knows how to deal with the RPO. I'm a little worried about that. And if Trey's going to be running the ball a lot, it's no wonder they wanted Jimmy to come back. He's going to get hurt. You can almost see it, feel it. Maybe.
What do you think of that, man? Do you think that he's just kind of being as concerned, or is he kind of being such a hater on Trey, if you feel that way?
I think Rumble loves his team. I don't care what anybody says. I think Rumble is a diehard 49ers fan who loves his team. I think the reason why he's saying that is because I think it was during the Cardinals game where they were running the ball way too much with Trey and wind up him getting hurt. And I think what Rumble's trying to say, and I'm not defending him, or I'm just trying to look at it from two sides of the story. Rumble wants a more quality backup just in case Trey Lance either one doesn't play well, or two he gets hurt. And if the Niners do run the ball a lot with Trey, he's going to get hurt. And everyone can attack me for this, but it's true. Whenever you see like a rough hit on the quarterback, you get the feeling, your heart kind of freezes for a moment. It happened with Justin Fields when it was the preseason game against the Buffalo Bills, where one player did a dirty move on him, knocked his helmet off. Everybody in Soldier Field was quiet, but Justin Fields got up and he was fine. So I'm gonna say this, and it is what it is, what people think of my opinion. I think Rumble loves his team, but he is looking at how can the 49ers need to have a backup just in case Trey goes down or he doesn't play well. And it could be result in the draft. It doesn't have to be in the first round. It could be the 4th, the 5th, the 6th round. So that's what I look at it as a perspective.
Okay, so you think it's got to do with just having the insurance policy? Like, do you really think he's going to draft a replacement? Because I've seen this other one also, but it's kind of mixed up. But to answer Niners all damn day, I'm hoping a lot of 3-and-outs from this Bears offense, but we'll see. It's like I can't predict this amount of 3-and-outs because we don't know how it's going to play out. But I'm hoping there's a lot of 3-and-outs. But as far as all that, man, let's just set it on a high note. Definitely appreciate you on the show. It's been over an hour mark. And, yeah, dude, it's going to be a good game, hopefully. I'm hoping for a good game, but maybe I'm right. Maybe I'm wrong. So we'll see. Here's a good question by Brian Cope. So he's asking you, what's bear down mean? Asking for a friend. So he's asking you, what does that mean? Because anytime I hear a Bears fan use that word, bear down, what does that mean?
I think it's a saying of bear attack. I know how bears attack. They usually tackle you and they like eat you up. So I don't know what that. I'm guessing what that means, but I just go for it. I just run with it. I just go with it. I just run with the bear down chant. I didn't come up with the chant. They did. So I just run with it.
I just don't understand the meaning of it when they hear it. Like, I've always thought when you use the word bear down, it seems like a negative thing. Like, why is it always got to be bear down? How about bear up? Like, I don't know. It just seems kind of weird, but I guess it's like some metaphor, yeah. Oh, okay. I mean, it's cool. Everybody's just having a good time. But, dude, hey, we're gonna end this on a high note. I'm gonna give you the solo to say your final saying. Then we're gonna look forward to this game coming up soon. And hey, I like to put an announcement that I do got a Bears content creator on a Friday called Keek on the mic or something. I'm supposed to get him on Friday. He's another good Bears content creator that goes on John Jay's channel also. You should definitely go check out that dude. He's a good dude. If you like Bears content, go check out Key. I don't know how you say his name on the mic. He does Bears content, so he's a good dude.
So everybody that is just tuning in, go Bears, not the Niners, because I know John may be saying that a lot.
Oh, let me give you the solo. My bad. You can say what you got to say, right, and then you tell people where they can find you.
Let's rewind that a little bit.
Yeah.
Bear down. Not the Niners.
That's it?
Not the Niners, because I know John J. be saying that a lot.
Oh, yeah. See, this is the guy I'm talking about right here. I think you say Keel on the mic. Yeah, he's a guy from maybe 2 hours from me, but he seems like a nice dude. But, yeah, dude, as always, CG and Butters is out. See y'all later. Peace.